Hi, Nakakao. My name is Daphne. I'm one of the essay correctors here at IELTSpodcast.com. Thank you for getting involved in the course. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm going to be working with you through your corrections. And yeah, it's good to have your first essays. Maybe you can tell me in your email your IELTS story. Have you done the exam before? What grade are you looking for? Why are you taking this exam? That's nice to give me some kind of context. Okay, so let's go straight in. I put the titles in here so we can have a look at them together. Some people think schools have to be more entertaining, while others think their sole purpose is to educate. Which do you agree with? Use reasons and examples. Okay. Nowadays, it is argued that schools must be more entertaining, whereas others believe that they should concentrate on education. Okay, so nowadays, it is argued by who? Give me an idea. I quite like getting people in here. Argued by many teachers and professionals. Okay. Uh, sorry, typo there. Professionals. That schools must be. Now, must be is not the same as should be or have to be. Must be is very strong. Uh, so I would modify that. I would just put a little bit more gentle. Could be. You're giving a suggestion. More entertaining. That's very importantly. Do not repeat the same word as the question. So you understand about paraphrasing because you are here paraphrasing basically, which is saying things in another way. So you mustn't use any of their words. So you could say, for example, instead of that, you could have interesting or or um, or interesting and stimulating. So it's important to diversify the vocabulary as much as possible, whereas others believe they should concentrate on education. Yep, okay. Again, education, I would prefer academics. Really, really, don't just change the word form, just change the word. It's easier. I first agree with the latter. Yeah, you should say latter statement because latter for me is very vague. Latter statement is more professional because within individualized society, when young children start using mobile phones at the age of 7, the importance of school shifts. This should be just present simple, I think. Shifts from studying to giving occasions to learn others. Maybe learn from others, you mean. Okay. Uh, within individualized society, do you mean a society where we just look after ourselves? So maybe within an individualized society. Not quite sure what you mean there. When young, no, you need to have children instead of kids because we wouldn't use kids in an academic essay. Start using mobile phones at the age of 7. The importance of school shifts from studying. Doesn't necessarily, but maybe you could say can shift or might shift from studying to given occasions and opportunities to learn from others. In this essay, I will discuss the disciplinary aspect. No, be very careful here because you started talking about mobile phones, and I don't know why, because we should be talking about what goes on in school. So really, you want to be talking about what happens in the classroom. So I think what they mean is should classroom lessons be purely textbook, focus on exams, or could the classroom be more entertaining? So could they have more activities such as sport or music or art or cooking or something in school? I don't think we need to be talking about mobile phones, but I think this is going off track here. And the disciplinary role is definitely off track. You are meant to be talking about what goes on in the classroom, not discipline. So immediately the examiner is going to be going, oh, help, hang on. You're going to answer the wrong question. So be careful. Make sure you stay on the task. Firstly, education is not a leisure. Well, we know it's not a leisure, but a place for occasions to learn to be better. Okay. All right. So maybe you should say education is not. Maybe just turn it around. Education is a vitally important part of a child's upbringing. Okay. And a place. So vitally important part of a child's upbringing and a place. Yeah. For them to learn to be better as well as, yeah, to acquire a knowledge of the world. I mean, we need to talk about what schools do. This is because children, yes, children naturally want to learn, and the role of adults, or teachers would be better here because you need to be talking about school, are to give them the occasions. Good. For example, Helen Keller was so excited to know the substance of water and connected it to the words water when her tutor showed her. Now, you need to explain this to me a bit more. Okay, you need to say the scientist or the whoever, because this example is suddenly coming in from I'm not sure where. Even in this computerized society, singular, the joy of learning is consistent all over the world. Yeah, so you could just expand on that. You don't need that because I wouldn't say we in this kind of essay. The importance of schools must solely be in education. Now, you haven't proved this to me. You've got consequently the importance of schools, but you haven't told me how important. I mean, you haven't said yes, you said they're important, but you haven't said they must only focus on education. Yeah. So in this paragraph, you should maybe be talking about yes, children want to learn, but you would need to say that that academics is very important for exams and for succeeding in society and a better future. Therefore, the focus should be on education. A little bit careful. For me, that paragraph is a little bit disjointed. Secondary schools are also places for children to acquire social skills. Okay, yes, they could be, absolutely. Secondly, many people suggest that. So to introduce your paragraph, this is so social skills such as. Tell me what they might be. This is because even in an individualized society, okay, we're talking about this a lot. That you had at the beginning, didn't you? I think we need to find a better way to say that. I think I know what you mean, but I don't think we would say that in English. Now, rather than we need others to collaborate, don't use we in this kind of essay. Say it is important to learn collaboration and teamwork, something like that. For example, don't say take for example, it's too informal. For example, in business, so again, take out you. In business, it is expected to understand the customer's thoughts. Why? In order to carry out his order or to fully understand the brief or their needs, something like that. Consequently, schools are precious places to get to know and respect others. To do so, disciplines given by adults are integral. Okay, again, for me, I think you've got some lovely ideas, but the ideas aren't joining up together. I feel that you're putting in 3 or 4 ideas, but not really developing them. Yes, they can acquire social skills, but how so this, in a way, is not connected to what you've just said. So social skills, like what are the social skills? So here we can put it in team building, collaboration. So how can a school help us do that? So we could have sports lessons, we could have music, we could have projects where everyone has to work together. That's the sort of example you want to be given. And then discipline is not connected to this. Discipline is more, I don't know, here you want to be saying, so therefore schools are the right place for children to learn a wide range of different skills which will help them in their lives. Paragraphs are a little bit disjointed. To conclude, I firmly agree that schools must focus on education when so much leisure is in hand by means of personalized computers. In the future, redefining the role of education will be considerably important. Yes, absolutely agree with that. Good. Okay. So, in the next next video you're going to watch on the course, we're going to talk about coherence, and we're going to give you a framework to build your essay. So, I see that you've tried really hard to follow the kind of algorithm, the GOT kind of layout, which is great. But I think what we need to do now is get your fantastic ideas into the right place, be able to develop the ideas. So I think that's our next task. But good start, and you've got some great ideas. It's just developing the ideas. Now, there's an argument that children can develop their abilities by doing enjoyable activities rather than reading. Okay. Yes. So again, same problem as the other one. Avoid enjoyable activities. So again, you could use the same words as we used before. Interesting, exciting things, or doing by doing interesting and exciting things such as football or drama lessons. Give me an example, always what you mean. I totally agree with the idea that children or youngsters can learn the most when they are too informal, involved in, absorbed by. If you know these words that I'm suggesting, write them down. It's a good idea to keep a note of all your corrections as you go along, mistakes that you're making, and then any sort of corrections that I'm suggesting to you. And then as you go along, you can keep checking back on those, what they're doing. In this essay, I'll focus on these arguments. Focus the argument on kids. Well, no, I don't want you to do that. I want you to answer the question. Yeah, I want you to talk about the activities that can give better skills. Okay, so I want you to talk about learning. Let's think about what these skills might be: learning spatial skills, learning cognitive skills, learning team building, learning competition. All these things that we need in life, and how are we going to learn them? It's also doing an activity with a child. Firstly, when those kids learn, and which kids? Spontaneous attitudes and the joy of learning are integral. Good. This is because they do not have well-balanced activities. Failures are friends to them. Now, these are kids who have development disorders. You have to be really careful here, Nakakao. Do you see my problem? Yeah? You're writing a nice essay here, but you're not answering the question. So task achievement is 25% of the marks. That is, are you answering the question? So it's really important that you do. Okay, this is interesting for me to read, but it's not on task. Staying on task is really important. Because when they have well-balanced activities, failures are friends, feeling fun. Feeling fun? Maybe having fun, or feeling a sense of fun and freedom. A strong motivation for learning. For example, with some children, you'd have to say, who have difficulties in concentration, reading books may be very challenging. So keep this academic. Therefore, a personalized study program through what they enjoy most. Tell me what it's going to be. You need to have some real examples here. The sport or the music or the going to the cinema or walking in the park is desirable. Okay, I get that. You just need to shift that paragraph around to keep it back on task. Secondly, children. This is children, not people, yeah? Children are able to learn. We wouldn't say a lot. Able to learn by doing physical activities rather than being passive. Okay, this is due to the fact that movement can stimulate the brain functions. So again, why is it important? So why does this give you better skills? What skills are you learning, and why is that better than reading? So I'm going to put here, connect to the question. Keep looking back at the question. Don't just write your own essay. Keep looking back at the question. For instance, the use of high-sized balls, chair-sized balls, are often used in educational settings with hyperactive kids. Okay, so some kids show better abilities when bouncing on the ball while studying. Yes, absolutely. I've seen that. It's very interesting. But we're not talking. Do you see what I'm saying now? We need to really connect this back to the question. Okay. To conclude, I agree that every child should grow through learning in what they enjoy the most, rather than just reading. Okay. You might say somewhere reading is very important. Yeah. Because I think that is quite important to say. In this essay I discussed, you don't need to do that. Go back on what you've said. Should grow through leading. Yeah, you don't need to go back on that. In the future, yes, we'll learn from joy. Yeah, rather than comparison competitions. Okay, so I think you've got some nice things going on here. You've got some very good language, some really nice language and very confident grammar. I'm not picking up kind of grammar errors. It's really just to do with answering the right question. Okay, so don't worry about this. I'm absolutely not worried. We've got a long way to go, and it's great that you're on the course. The next little video modules will really help you, I think. But well done. Good start here.